What's good, guys? So I'm gonna be talking about more Lightning Overdrive. I'm gonna be covering the secret rares right now in this video. And recently, I went to sneak peek, opened some packs. The set's cool. I've already talked about how the secret rares are a little bit questionable in this set because nothing is just like too generic, and like the cards that are generic, like the Book of Eclipse card, are just not that good. But I did see all the whole entire set list, and it looks cool. There's some interesting cards. There's cards like this one that I think just look like the art just like caught my eye. Black Rose Dragon was definitely one of my favorite cards. So let's go get right into this card. So this I believe this is the OCG name, Blood Rose Dragon. There's no way they're gonna name this. I believe it has some questionable name in the TCG, but the effect, if this card is synchro summoned, you can banish as many cards as possible from the graveyard. Then if this card was synchro summoned using Black Rose Dragon or a plant synchro monster as material, you can destroy all other cards on the field. I like that. It reminds me of Black Rose Dragon. Literally, cool card. Level 10 synchro, and then when your opponent activates a card or effect that destroys cards, quick effect, you contribute this card, negate the activation, then you can special summon one Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard. I see. The thing is, I actually don't. Not everything has to be like competitively viable. I don't think this is going to be competitively viable, but it's cool to see cards that are like remind you of older cards because I think this is cool. The artwork's sick. I think a lot of people can agree with me when they say like, oh, they got into the game because they enjoyed the show, or something like, oh, they enjoyed the artwork of a certain card. So I do think this secret rare is cool. Definitely interesting. I don't think it's going to be expensive or anything like that. Like I said, like the secret rares are a little questionable, but I definitely enjoyed seeing this card. I thought the artwork was sick. I really hope this card doesn't have some questionable name in the TCG, but I'm pretty sure it does. And then one more other secret rare I want to cover is the Sky Pierce of Light, Baratia. I don't know how to say this, but this card was also stood out. I actually pulled this card, and it was really interesting reading it for the first time. But let me go over the effect. You contribute some of this card by attributing one effect monster. During your opponent's main phase, if your opponent adds cards from the deck to their hand, except by drawing them, and this card is in your hand, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card. So right off the bat, it's interesting because I haven't seen a card actually have an effect like that, not to my knowledge. And then you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card. If this card is normal or special summon from your hand, you can have your opponent banish cards from the top of their deck face down equal to the number of cards in their hand. Then they shuffle their entire hand into the deck, and if they do, they add cards banished by this effect to their hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So I had to read this a few times. This is definitely interesting. I don't know if it's actually going to be good, or if there's like some crazy FTK that I'm not thinking about, or like you guys know. Definitely let me know if there is something interesting about this card, because I had to read this a few times and I was just like, that's very interesting. But like I said, two secret rares I wanted to cover. There's, I believe, one last secret rare that I have not covered on this channel from Lightning Overdrive, and that's the War Rock. But I want to make a whole video on like how shitty that archetype really is, unless maybe it's not shitty. I read a few cards. I was not very impressed. But these are two secret rares that I didn't cover on this channel. Cool cards. Blood Rose Dragon. Really reminiscent of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I love that show. I love the all those Synchro Dragons. Synchros brought me into this game. So, cool card. I definitely don't mind seeing cards that just have cool artwork and remind you of the past. And then this card is just interesting in general. I'm sure that there is something about this that I'm not catching. But let me know what you guys thought about these two cards, and leave a comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace.